On this episode, we stayed at home and I shoot Levon's bones. I collected some bones and I needed to shoot them. So on this episode, I'm gonna show you how to do focus stacking. Join us! Welcome to our dining room and to a session of Levon's bones. Levon is our new puppy. He is 7 months old. When we are outside, he is an expert in finding bones. And he has found like amazing things. I got the idea of starting a new personal photographic project. I collect some of the bones that Levon has found and I bring them home. I started really homemade, still kind of homemade, but I upgraded with a little studio that Rhonda, a friend, lent me. This is the biggest bone that he has found, and what I try to accomplish here is scientific photos of bones, and I do it with a technique called focus stacking, meaning I'm gonna set up the camera on the tripod and I am going to focus on different areas of the bone and I am going to mash them all together with Photoshop. It's really interesting. It is really fun. You can see and appreciate every detail that the bone has. This is our first subject of today. And as I said before, my studio is really homemade. It's on my dining table. But who cares? Look, I am setting up the bone on top of a piece of soap. And I'm gonna just avoid it on the photos or erase it eventually. We think this bone was from a moose or a cow. So this is how you do focus stacking on a Sony A7 IV. So you go to drive mode, you pick focus bracketing, and then you go in here. And step width is how many photos is it gonna take and how detailed you want the photos to be. So I have it in narrow because I like to have every single detail and then I can mash those photos together in Photoshop. But then you can have it on standard or you can have it also on wide or you can have it wherever you want to. But I'm gonna leave it in narrow. And then the number of shots, I'm gonna do 35. I know it takes around 29 photos to do the whole thing. And then, but it doesn't hurt you having a little bit more. And the way you know it's done, it's the image is going to appear like out of focus. So there you go, that's how you know when you need to when you select the photos that you want to edit. And then on the focus bracket order, I will leave it like that. That is from the closest point to the farthest point. And then exposure shooting off. Shooting interval, I put up 2 seconds because if the camera shakes, it gives it at least a couple of seconds to just settle and take the other photo, so we avoid blurry photos because it's moving. And then here you can select the folder that you want to put your photos on. I'll leave it there. I don't need it to be on a new folder, but here you can pick a new folder and name it. And then you press the shutter. It's gonna focus. And then it's gonna do 35 photos. It's got a counter down here, there, so you know how many photos have been taken. And then when it stops, it will stop the shutter. And I will repeat this process like a couple of times. And then it's too big, the bone, so I cannot do it on one photo. So I am gonna mash those photos together on Photoshop and then I'm gonna make a panorama. So it's kind of fun to be honest with you. So I'm about to take the photos. I like the position of the bone. You can use these for landscape photography, for product, and for macro. So there you go, guys. The camera is working. It's taking photos. It's moving the focus slowly but surely, and my speed is 150. The aperture is 5.6, and the best apertures for focus stacking, it is between 5.6 and 8, and then the ISO, it's 100. So I have the camera, it's on my Peak Design tripod, and I am using the 85 millimeters, and the camera has a skin. So I just move on to the other part of the bone, and to be honest with you, side note, it's very relaxing to hear the shutter going. And this is the whole setup. Look at my lights. It's very homemade, my lights, and I have a little studio that a friend lent me. Connor said that he was carrying it very proud. He's very proud of his findings. He's just an interesting character, to be honest with you, and we love him, and he brings so many good things to this house. He is the one that finds all of the bones, right, Levon? Got a powerful nose. See? Let's go to the computer. Well, first you select all your photos that you're gonna use. I select them by colors. Then you edit them very basically. So exposure, contrast, highlights, whites and blacks. And then I put it on auto sync, and it will do it on the 35 images for the upper part of the bone. And then I select the subject, I do the same. Once you're satisfied with your editing, select all the photos that you want to merge, right click, and then edit in, and then open as layers in Photoshop. Once that you're on Photoshop, your layers are gonna be on the right bottom corner, and you click on the first one, and then you hold shift, and then you click on the last one, so they are all selected. And then you wanna go to edit, auto align layers. If we have movement during taking the photos, this is going to align the layers perfectly. After the process is done, go to edit again, auto blend layers, and let Photoshop make its magic. By the way, it can take a long time for it to do that. It depends on how many photos do you have. Mine were 35 photos, and so it took around like an hour or something like that. I don't know. For saving it is really easy. Go to File, Save As, Large Document Format, and then hit Save. To continue working on Lightroom, then hit File, Save. Last but not least, for making a panoramic photo in Lightroom, go to Photo, Photo Merge, and pick the option Panorama, and then click on Merge and let Lightroom do its magic. The results are amazing. If you open the photos and you really zoom in, you can see every single detail. And this is not the first time I've done this project. I have been collecting Levon's founds and I've been having fun with them. So there you go, guys. That's how you make focus stacking on A7 IV and on Lightroom and Photoshop. How about that? I hope you learn a lot and you like my little project, my little personal project. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and a like. See you next week.